Hello again. It's a Friday morning as I record this, and so I thought, since it's Friday, why don't we let our hair down a little bit and talk about notifications, filters, and hashtags. These issues around these things have come up quite a bit as we struggle to deal with the volume of email during this learn at home period. And so I wanted to talk about some ways that we can manage that. In my Google Classroom, and in the top left, there are these three lines that are a menu, and at the bottom, there's a settings option. And I'm going to go into settings there. And one of the menu items here is notifications. So notifications can be a benefit. They can cause some issues, and we'll try and sort through that. So these are global settings right now. So all of these settings apply to everything you're in. So either you receive email notifications or not. You can decide to get notifications of when people comment on posts you make, when there are comments that mention you, and we'll talk about that. When there's private comments on work. And this one right here, private comments on work, is the one that's really causing issues. Because for the support teachers who are enrolled in a classroom, they're getting emails every time a student posts a comment on a piece of work asking their teacher a question. So the more classrooms you're enrolled in, the more of these you're getting. For the classes that you're enrolled in, this is if you're a student, you can have these options. Most of us are teachers in classes, so you can get notifications of late submissions, resubmissions, invitations to co-teach, scheduled posts, etc. And at the bottom, there is now a drop-down that Google has recently added that lets us change class notifications. So you can decide which classes you get notifications for and don't. The struggle here is, I'm guessing for a number of you, let's say French teachers, for example, if you're a co-teacher in a subject class and you only want to keep an eye on a few pieces of work, you don't need to be monitoring everything that happens. These private comments, you're getting them for everything. So I'm going to suggest that you leave notifications on and we use filters in your email to deal with how all those emails are handled. Whoops, I turned mine off. Let me turn that back on before I leave. There we go. Okay, so here I am in my email. I've collapsed my inboxes so that nothing private is shown. I want you to go up here into the search and type in added a private comment on and make sure it's in quotation marks and then press enter to search. I guarantee that in your inbox, you will see hundreds of messages here with this search term. So I've deleted all mine so that you don't see any student names. But this is what's causing you the issue. These are the private comments that are coming in on assignments that you're getting message after message about. So let's deal with them here by creating a filter. I'm going to click on this drop down option here, the little triangle. This will give me some powerful search options if I want to do really specific searches. But right now I just want to use it to create a filter. So I already have my search term in here, has the words, and it's in quotation marks, and that's important because that means Google's going to look for those 5 words in that order. That's all I want it to search for. And this is unique enough that it's only going to come up with comments or with notifications from comments from Google Classroom. So let's create a filter. And let's do 2 things with the filter. Number 1, let's skip the inbox. So that means that when that message comes in, it's not going to land in your inbox. Google is going to archive it. It's not going to get deleted. It's just going to be hanging out in Google's archive of your email, but you won't see it when it comes in. And we can also click mark as read. So it's going to come in. It's going to be read. It's going to be out of your inbox. You won't see it when it comes in, but it will still be there. It won't be deleted. And that's important for the second part of this. Okay, So we're going to do that. We're going to create the filter. And so now any new messages that come in, they should skip your inbox. And you have a little confirmation down here that that happened. So now what I want you to think about is when you make assignments. So here's an example assignment I made. And imagine I'm a French teacher. Imaginez ça. I've given my task a name. So it's my task for April. And I've put a hashtag in the name. And the hashtag I've put in is MB, Monsieur B, Français. So you don't need the hashtag sign or the pound sign. But it just makes it that much more unique. You want to choose a string that's not going to be found anywhere else. So this means that anytime a student makes a comment on that specific post, then that hashtag is going to be in the title of the email that comes into my inbox. So even though all of my emails that are labeled added private comment have been archived, I'm going to put in my hashtag here, MB Français. And look at that. It pops up the message that Google sent me saying this task was posted. So if students comment on that task, when I search for this string, then Google's going to show me all those emails in chronological order. And so once or twice a day, I can just pop into my email.
According to Techwalla, select the...
Sorry, Google's trying to answer my question on my phone. Once or twice a day, I can just pop in to my email. I can put in this search string. And then that will show me all of the messages that have this tag. If we wanted to, we could create another filter with this to label all these. So I'm going to click my drop down again. Has the words MB Français with the hashtag in front. Because it's just one word, it doesn't need quotation marks around it. And I'm going to create a filter. And this time, I'm going to apply a label to it. And I've made a label called Learn at Home. If you don't have a label made, you can just make a new label right here. But I'm going to make I made a label called Learn at Home. I'm going to create that filter. And now I've got this Learn at Home label over here on the left. And when I click on that, then it shows me all the things in my inbox or all the things in my email that have that label on it. So we've tried to manage the incoming email by creating two filters. The first filter makes all those incoming messages skip the inbox. The second filter looks for this keyword, Français, and puts it in this folder. So I can come back to this folder anytime I'm checking my email, and I can look in there to see, oh, are there any comments or questions students have put on my tasks that I need to deal with? So I would use this hashtag with any task I post in any classroom, and that will always let me come back and find anything with that tag in it. One more little tip or comment. So when I hop back to the document, the other way that this communication piece could be happening, so we've talked about comments before, but if I highlight the word hashtags, actually let's highlight notifications because it's a little more fitting, and click on the comment button. When I'm making a comment, I can start off my comment with a plus sign and then somebody's email address. So let's pick on Ian here. So plus sign, Ian's email, and then I could type in a message, have you checked your spelling? Okay. And then when I comment on this, Ian's going to get an email because I've added him here that will notify them to come and check this document. So this could be used in two ways. Number one, if you have older students, you could ask them to, and it's not going to be foolproof starting off, but you could ask them to use this format to include you when they have a question. So you could teach them to do this and say, when you have a question for me, highlight the part of the document you have a question about, press the plus sign, press plus, and once they start your email address, it'll pop up, and write your question, and that'll be a notification. I don't know how far you want to go down that road. It could work, but it would be a lot of training and time to get that going. The other option is if you're the classroom teacher and you notice that a comment has come up that needs to be directed towards the music teacher, the French teacher, or the literacy teacher, or whomever, you could do this and put in the other teacher's account and say, how would you respond to this, Mr. So-and-so? Okay, so that's another option that would involve some training, but is possible. For now, I'm going to recommend that you leave your notifications on, you make filters with hashtags, and that helps you sort through your email. You can also make filters with to sort out any specific kinds of messages that come in. And if you need help with that, don't hesitate to reach out. Hope that's been helpful. As always, if you have any questions, let me know.